Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto market. That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to discuss the continued crypto market pump. We're going to talk about another big player entering the Ethereum Treasury wars and Pump Fund's new community liquidity incentives. GM, I'm joined today by Kix, joined today by Easy. Feeling good on a Friday. We got coins up. We got GTA 6 getting a release date May of next year. I mean, that's big. Maybe that's why coins are pumping. I'm excited. Kix, how you feeling today on this Friday?
I'm doing absolutely phenomenal, man. Feeling good because just the things I have conviction in, the trades I'm taking are working. I got about 70% of my fill DCAing in Zora below 63 cents. And that's now up to 83. So really bullish on that. Also, just getting more bullish by the day on Hyperliquid. I just think that's probably out of the top 50 coins. I think it's the most undervalued coin. Yeah, so I'm just excited for things to really start picking up steam heading into September.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, we basically bottom ticked this dip on Zora, like talking about it on this show. This thing was at like 174 million, 175 million when we were kind of like saying, hey, this could be the next big thing, up to 273, approaching all-time highs. Gotta love to see that. I didn't DCA in. Happy you did. Somebody's here is winning. Easy, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm fine. I got a huge long on Hyperliquid at 38, 3x leverage.
Yeah, very uncomfortable long. We'll see if it hits. If it Hyperliquid goes to 150K rate, you'll probably just never see me again.
What's your leverage on that?
Just 3x.
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 But I don't have a stop loss. Either I'm gonna get liquidated or we're gonna. If it goes to 150 bucks, you know, like I might just delete Twitter.
I'm excited for that to happen.
We'll delete Twitter?
Yeah. Well, I'm excited.
What you have to do, Easy, and I think you would crush this, is at that point you got to start becoming Andrew Kang-esque.
Who's that?
Andrew Kang, legendary investor in crypto, made 8 figures through like, you know, just trading, bought Bitcoin early, blah, 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 blah. Sometime last year, he basically said like the highest asymmetric bet that he sees currently in the world is robotics. And I think he made like a $15 million investment into a single robotics company. Yeah, thinking that it's going to be like the biggest potential play, because what he sees is like in robotics, you really only can buy Tesla, which he recommended buying at the lows in March, April, or buying into private rounds. So I can really see you making a similar kind of transition where you're starting to like be like, cool, like I want to be writing like 200, 300K checks into like seed companies or Series A, Series B that I have high conviction in.
That'd be fun.
I'll help you. You can pay me like 100K a year salary. I'll be your little, deal manager. I'll kind of present, PowerPoints. I'll have ChatGPT do it for me. I'll walk you through the opportunity.
I don't really want PowerPoints though. Could you just like text me like, hey, good, bad?
Even better. I can do that, man. I can do what you want if you're my boss. You know what I mean? I'm gonna work to what you want. I'm not,
I just want the words good, bad.
Good. That's awesome. And I can even say like gooder or goodest. Like if I think it's like super high conviction.
Big bad.
Yeah. Big good. This is a big good opportunity right here.
Yeah. Company name, big good.
Cool. I got it, boss.
That's it. Thanks. That's all. I'm down. That's it. Yeah. Look. See. By the way, if you're a whale, dude, I've just been sharing my trades very publicly in there. It's the first time I've really done this. It's kind of cool because it just lets me like brain dump my trade journal.
What's a whale?
What is that?
What's a whale? How do you become one?
10 Bodogos or 10 Nifty portals. So Yeah, you just go in there, and I basically post a couple times a day with my like live market thoughts of how I'm looking at it. Like even yesterday, I said, watch the S&P here. S&P makes new highs before crypto. Crypto will follow shortly after. It gave some loose targets. Bitcoin 125, ETH 4200, sold back to 190, 200. And then I said hype 45. But it seems like alts are actually running a little bit hotter now. So I'm going to go in and update that today. Other day when we were like kind of getting some uncertainty, I was very blunt in there. Gave like recent targets though. I said I'm leaning more risk on while we held some lows. With BTC close over 114K, target was 117.5. Sol 4 hour over 166, target 174, that hit. ETH over 3665, targets 3870, that hit. And hype over 38, target 41.5, that hit. So Beautiful. We've been on a little bit of a heater here with just higher time frame, lower number of trades, kind of just letting the market come to us. And if you want to get into trading, I'm very open about that stuff. I've given some longer term meme coin trades. That stuff's not like short-term trades. I will say, like, those things are, we have charts, we have the lines drawn out. It's very easy to understand where I'm long and short. Shameless shill, but wanted to just give that.
I love it.
Doggos.
And just two things to say real quick. Well, there's also a third option. So one is owning enough portals, owning enough Doggos. You also, if you live in New York City, you can get into whale chat if you show up and lotion Nick's entire body every morning. Because he likes to start with a good skin.
But he's not even in New York anymore, so that'd be a little weird to go there.
Good point. Ellie also said that I can outsource my research job to you, so I'm just going to middleman it. I'm going to pay him $40K.
Oh, that's wicked
you
smart.
You pay me $100. I just middleman 60, and that's just how you make money in life.
It's really smart. Steal really from smart. Peter to pay Paul.
Exactly, dude. That's capitalism, dude.
Speaking of really smart, we have some really smart people who have used our code on Yeet and have done some volume during this tournament. 13 people to be exact. And we're going to be giving away some cash today. We're going to give away $2,000 live to one of these 13 people. Well, two actually. We're going to do 2 spins, one now, one at the end of the show. Basically how these people became eligible is they signed up using our code, bodoggos.com/Yeet, or they went to Yeet and they used the Bodoggos code. If you do that, you're going to be eligible for future giveaways as well. So make sure you sign up if you want to join in these $1,000 giveaways. But Puppo absolutely smashing with volume 44K. The way we're running it this week is we're going to be doing an extra entry for every 5K worth of volume to give a little bit of support to the people who are doing a bit more volume on the platform as well. Unfortunately, we are getting absolutely wiped by Wizard of Soho here in the tournament. He has the most volume out of anybody by a long shot, led mainly by just one person putting up $673,000 worth of volume. So we're going to have an appeal to the tournament seeders here. We should not have been seeded against the 1 seed as probably like a 2 or 3 seed, honestly. So we have some seeding issues here, but we're going to do a little wheel spin now. We've got everyone from that list up here. You can see multiple entries for the people who had additional volume and beat Dusty and Bo Puppo. We're going to spin once now. We're going to remove that person from the wheel, and then we're going to spin again at the end of the show. This is for $1,000. Here we go. Let's get it out.
One bando. Who's getting a band? Who's getting a band? Let's see who gets the band.
Beat Dusty. Big winner here. We got Beat Dusty winning one.
Dusty's on the fucking wheel 9 times.
Yeah.
He'd be betting.
Yeah, he's on there 7 times, and Bo Puppo's on there 8 times.
Dang, son, these guys are making that money.
Boom. All right. That's 1K going over to Beat Dusty. We're going to be doing another spin later on in the show. But for now, why don't we kick it off with the weather report, and we'll jump into the rest of the show. We have a lot to talk about today. It's been a busy day in crypto land.
Big difference from Wednesday, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, today is Friday, August 8th. The majors up on the day with Bitcoin hovering just below 117K, Ethereum at 3,900, Solana in the high 170s. Hype also getting above $41. Over the past 24 hours, SEC and Ripple have finally ended their 5-year-long court battle. They ended proceedings on their case after both parties filed a joint dismissal of appeals. Another win for the Trump administration. Imagine if you didn't win it, it would just be a different world, a different universe that we live in. Next up, a challenger entered the Ethereum Treasury ring as NASDAQ-listed Fundamental Global filed to issue $5 billion worth of common stock to purchase Ethereum. Let's go. Sits at a $46 million market cap, down 3% in pre-market trading. Finally, Pump Fund turned on the incentive jets as they introduced the Glass Full Foundation. The foundation will inject liquidity into Pump Fund ecosystem tokens. They have deployed over 1.6 million into tokens so far, led by House and Tokapu, which are up over 25% on the day. That is it for your weather report. Back to you in the studio.
Excellent weather report as always, Kicks. Yeah, Pump Fund turning on the incentives again. They're beginning to get back that market share that they had lost. And I think we talked about this on the show. It's really just almost like a matter of time because they had the cash to do it. And basically people just go to where the money is, you know, so, I mean, we're looking at 51% market share now for Pump Fund, 22,000 mints, 166 bonded, leading the way across all launch pads right now. And then like putting funds into different tokens. Like I haven't even heard of half of these. Have you heard of all these, Easy?
Of course.
You've heard of Neat?
Yeah, Neat. Do you know what a Neat is?
No.
It's someone who doesn't work.
What about Dalo?
I actually have not heard of Dollar.
And you heard of Tokabu before?
Yeah, it's just like long nose thing. I've been seeing them all over X.
Yeah, I was in Disney, and I saw Elon make a tweet, and it was like one of those dumb coded tweets where like the first letter of every word was like the ticker, and it was for Tokabu, and I was like, oh, I'll buy this. He's like probably gonna do something here, and I bought it at like 15 mil, and I sold it like break even like a week later. I was like, that was the dumbest buy I've ever had, and now it's up to like 60 million.
Well, it happens.
I'm just so happy there's so many other things going on in the space than like fucking buying one of these tickers, dude. No offense.
Yeah, so 1.6 mil here. And it's like odd. I mean, it feels like there's no like real like structure to this. So it just feels like kind of scammy in a sense where they can be like, well, let's buy this token on insider wallets and then let's pump it with the glass half full foundation, have other people ape in, and then like, hey, we profit and probably make money on the buy. So I don't know. It feels a little off, especially like looking at this list. Like Housecoin is like basically the only thing on here that like has had like what I've seen as like a community on Twitter. So we have some big news in the space. We have the Ethereum new Ethereum Treasury company. This is a very small company. A lot of people were like talking about this on the timeline. Like the 5 billion raise is a big number, and I think part of the reason we're seeing this huge sell-off of the stock because it's going to be like they're issuing $5 billion worth of common stock. So this thing dipped 40% now in pre-market trading. But they're looking to raise $5 billion to purchase Ethereum. People pointing at this as like another big catalyst as they join like the battle to acquire Ethereum. I'm going to pull up the ETH Strategic Reserve page now to see like where people stand. But 5 billion would put them like squarely in the lead. Tom Lee's Bitmine is at 3.25 billion. Sharplink Gaming, which is SBET, that's at 2.04 billion. Ether Machine at 1.35. And then the Ethereum Foundation's down to number 4 in terms of holdings by large entities at $900 million. Do you think these things move the needle, like these announcements?
Not anymore.
No.
They did it first.
It's essentially like a TWAP on ETH. I mean, I think the nice thing structurally on ETH, it not being considerably at all-time highs, I think like the overall like hold to sell ratio is probably pretty strong on Ethereum. I think Ethereum can easily go to 6 to 8K without meaningfully slowing down, because I think that most people that have been insane enough to zoom out,
change it to weekly chart, zoom out.
most people that have been insane enough to hold that chart aren't going to sell it at 4K.
I mean, the other thing is, dude, everyone's already been selling it at 4K. All the 4K sellers continue to dump. It's why we haven't broken 4K.
Is this the time we break 4K?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If not, delete this show.
Yeah, just delete the show. We'll start a new one.
It's like not a big deal.
Just the whole show, right? Not even this episode. Just the whole
No,
YouTube.
just
whole show.
the whole YouTube.
Every episode.
The whole YouTube.
Polymarket says 87% chance that we hit 4K this month. Did we hit 5K this month?
No. Like, I'm down to be optimistic and bullish, but like, let's not be ridiculous.
I mean, you know what they say? The road to 4K is the hard road. The road to 10K is the easy road.
It's also only a 25% rip to 5K. It's not like it's
That's
It's
pretty
only
good
August
math.
8th. Yeah.
because I mean it did 2400 to 4K, which is
All right. So
40%.
what's the daily here? How long did it take us to go to 4K to 5K during that rip in 2021? Is the question. All right. So we hit 4K on
Man, I got a seizure watching that.
October 20th. Then we hit all-time highs November 9th.
2 weeks
So
later.
less than a month. Less than a month. I think we can hit 5K this month. If we break through this 4K level and we enter, I mean, it's not really price discovery. I mean, it's on the local level it is, but I think we can do it.
Why?
You missed it. We had Tom Lee on the show yesterday as well, Kicks.
Yeah, I'm buds
he
with
was
that guy.
with us.
Where is Big C Dog today?
He is taking some time to attend to other matters that he's behind on.
Rehabbing his toe.
I saw he danced. I promised no dances for a while, and he went out and he danced on the timeline. So I don't know where we're at. He actually just sent me a message on Slack. He said, "Look, bodoggos are on OpenSea." That's a nice little dog there. Speaking of OpenSea, I want to do some of these voyages again live today. I'm gonna knock out some more of these voyages. 3575 points today. I'm gonna do a couple of these. I did a couple tweets this morning. I just need to check for completion here. For anyone who hasn't seen this before, basically OpenSea has these voyages. They're different quests. They don't require a lot of capital, but essentially you can like do some tweeting. You can buy some like small value NFTs, and you complete these daily quests. They reset every like day, every couple days. And like some of them are like pretty, some of them have like no cost. So like creating an art gallery, like I bought an art NFT, I can create an art gallery. Doing so is going to earn me some points. It like takes just a couple seconds to like set this up. And they have these different galleries where you can like showcase artwork. So I can showcase some of these G Money, or not G Money, D's NFTs I have here. Create a little gallery, earn some.
Those things ran, didn't they?
Yeah, they ran nice. They were on Ape. They minted on OpenSea, and they went pretty hard in terms of like post mint running. I think I have like 10 left, and they're basically free from selling the other like 10 or 15 I minted. But yeah, like simple stuff like this on OpenSea like earns you the points. We know that we're gonna get a future airdrop, or like at least expecting a future airdrop here. So I like just do these like small things every day, every couple days. I'll check in. I need to do like a token swap. Every time I do this, I just DCA more into SPX. I basically use OpenSea almost exclusively for token swaps on like EVM chains now, and like even starting to do it for Solana for long-term positions. Makes it super easy. And you can also like do cross chain, which is awesome. Like I can use Base or whatever asset I hold to like swap into the coin I'm trying to buy. So they make it super simple. They've been really building out their back end. Really excited to see like what they've built over time here, and like what eventually this platform is going to be. We're going to see an airdrop. I think they're going to be more competing with like the big boys. Like you're going to look at OpenSea not as like a Blur or Magic Eden competitor, but more of like a Robinhood, Coinbase competitor once they kind of roll out everything they have coming. So I'm pretty excited to see what they have coming. I'm pretty excited to continue to get points here. I think it's underfarmed. I think a lot of people have been burned on this in the past, and they might have like a bad taste in their mouth. But I think right now it's underfarmed, an opportunity to jump in and earn potential future token.
Ray, what taste do you have in your mouth?
I have a good taste. I have it's a semi-sweet, bold iced coffee. It's Stoke.
That's nice.
The Stoke brand. That's one of my favorites.
Is it a Keurig blend or is it something that you pull from the OpenSea? See what I did there?
It was delivered on the OpenSea, across many lands, and then put into my local Aldi where I purchased it and drank.
You go to Aldi's?
Yeah, I go to Aldi.
Why you go to Aldi's?
Why do I go to Aldi? I don't know. It's affordable. It's good.
Population density of Delaware.
Y'all got Publix up there?
No, that's a Florida thing or like a South thing.
Yeah, it's a South thing. Get that down in South Carolina.
Love a good Publix. All right, Voyages down. I didn't do that this morning, so I wanted to do that while we're here. Highlight that because I think that's always an opportunity for our listeners to jump into. We had a busy day for Trump in the U.S. yesterday.
What did he do?
So we signed the executive order allowing the crypto asset investment into 401k accounts. We nominated Stephen Moran to the Fed board, signed an executive order banning banking discrimination against crypto, and we imposed tariffs on 1 kilo gold bars. So like a ton of different big
no tariffs on Bitcoin.
Yeah, price of gold like spiked when this happened. But I think the big one here is the 401k accounts. Seeing the like allowance of crypto into these is interesting. I don't know if it's going to be like rolled out right away, but I'm curious like what your thoughts here are like long-term effects on crypto, or like what your thoughts are like about this Kicks.
I thought this was already possible. Maybe it's in a Roth that is possible, but if you self-manage your account, like you can just buy iBit, right?
Yeah.
Yes. But it's
the
about,
difference
like,
here is that you can hold like any currency in it or real estate or whatever.
Yeah, it's like private
And
equity.
private equity.
Yeah.
It's way more than just crypto. Like you can basically buy anything with your 401k now.
Yeah,
and it's also not just iBit. That's the difference. Like you could go and buy spot Bitcoin if someone provided it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's awesome personally. Opening up more things that you can do with your 401k. I mean, most 401ks I think are managed, right? Or managed to a degree. But if anything, that's even more bullish because if these 401ks now are essentially allowed to express bets and all these other things, you could see heavy volume coming in.
How many dollars do you think it is, Kicks-a-miss?
I mean, what's the like how much money?
It's 12.5 trillion.
Yeah, it's 12.5 trillion in 401ks right now.
Yeah, and that number only goes up every year.
So 1% of that, 1.2 trillion into crypto. That's pretty massive.
That number only goes up every year too. Every year.
I've had more and more people ask me how much they should be putting in crypto. My mother-in-law, I said like, I don't know, 2%, 1%. And she said, well, that's a lot of money. I said, well, we'll just DCA, do it, divide it by 12, put it over a year.
I would say 10%, but
I would say 60%.
I mean, 10% is
rich here, or are you just trying to be boring?
Well, like, she's my mother-in-law. She's older. She's basically protecting wealth at this point.
Yeah, so make it like 70%. Like, live a little. You don't got much longer left.
But it's funny because, like, by the time she finally like nailed it down and it came up with a number, she bought a like Pico top.
Oh,
and it went down. So she's like, "What did I do? Like, should I still buy?" It's like, "Well, that's the point. You keep buying."
Yeah, I generally try to avoid like the problem with like most normies is like if you tell them about crypto and then they like ask you for a thing, right? Then they essentially consider you to be their like pro bono financial advisor,
and they will complain to you for every dollar move it has.
Exactly, which I absolutely like hate to do. Like if someone in real life is like, "Oh man, I heard you made money on this or that. Can you like tell me the next play?" I'm like, I just don't do that because like then you're gonna like consider me like the person that you have to talk to all the time. If you're up, if you're down, buy or sell, everything like that. Like
I don't even
I like crypto. Buy crypto if
you
want. Yeah,
like I'm gonna be honest. I don't like telling you guys what I'm doing. The worst person to tell is Nick, because if you don't tell him, he gets mad. But if you do tell him and it goes down, he gets even more mad.
Yeah, that's why I put his name in my phone as Nick the Complainer.
Yeah, he's at my phone is do not answer.
I get this one too. It's like, oh, you just made some like money. Like, hey, why don't we all pool money together and you just manage our fund and just do whatever you're doing? That one's the worst. I'm like, nah, I can't do that.
I'm not doing that. And then who pays the taxes on it?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Because I don't have my financial regulation stuff. Like, I'm not. Yeah. I have to pay the 30% on all the money, and you guys get it off scot-free.
Yeah, well, that's just a no upside win.
Yeah,
I mean, this is what I did. Yeah,
money, we're still friends. If I lose money, we're no longer friends.
Yeah, I put 1% of your allocations in the Bitcoin. That's like my default. That's my go-to. There's no way they can get mad at me. Just 1%. If it goes up, they're happy. If it goes down, it's just 1%. The only reason they get mad at me is they didn't put in more, I suppose, but that's on them.
Exactly. I don't know. You should have taken a financial course. You know what I mean? That's what I tell people. But yeah, dude, I'm excited. Things are looking great in August. Once again, I'm going to sound boring because I'm not. I'm honestly, I'm just staying away from all like the crazy noise. Oh, this coin's pumping to this coin's pumping to that. I'm trying to stay laser focused on the areas I have conviction in. And just like focusing on those specific things. So I DCA'd into Zora. I also, when we talked about on the show last week, went and bought like an ETH worth of creator coins on Zora, just thinking that some of those may be a good beta on that. And I think spending some time in researching what you think can be the narratives that really get pumped over on Zora would be smart, because if that ecosystem continues to accelerate, the beta plays will accelerate harder. We saw that with virtuals, we saw that with Believe, we saw that with a lot of similar products. So I think spending the time there to like think like, oh, is it, crypto adjacent profiles, right, that are going to pump the hardest? Is it going to be like artists that are going to pump the hardest? Is it going to be like unique things on there that are only possible on Zora? Like, I don't know, could someone make like a Zora-esque, a game on Zora? Could someone make a PFP collection on Zora? So I'm looking into all of those things. Very happy just to own Hyperliquid spot. I think that's the most undervalued play. I think I'd be surprised if that's not over 100 by the end of the year.
God, I hope.
And yeah, that's what I'm interested in. And I'm going to continue to... That picture is fucking hilarious, dude.
Did easy dirty with this one.
P.O. on that vegan diet, dude.
little Ibiza weekend. Ibiza.
That looks like Nick, though, if he did roids, for sure. Just all neck and shoulders. Yeah. But yeah, and then the rest of my mental bandwidth and capacity is just going to be continuing to look for new opportunities that are inevitably going to materialize over the next couple months. Yeah, Wolfie. Yeah, the SUV fund is now I can hold hype way higher than I would have to hold it otherwise fund.
Thanks to Zora.
If this is truly like the next Binance, but potentially bigger, I just think all of these on-stream effects where you see real world assets coming on in a big way. There's a new company or new project using the HIP-3 protocol and testnet on Hype called Ventuals that allows you to long or short private companies, which I think is massively interesting because that's unlocking a huge market of interested capital that can't get into these types of companies.
There's also one on Solana called Early Bird.
Yes, they just launched on Jupiter. So another example of like a cool real world asset thing. But I think Hyperliquid, I use it now for almost all of my trading. And I think that's just a huge signal, right? Like I don't have my money sitting on Coinbase waiting to trade it because they don't get coins on there when I want to buy them, right? With some exceptions, like Zora's on Coinbase. You can buy Zora on Coinbase, right? But anytime I'm interested in expressing an opinion in crypto, whether I want to go long or short on something, I'm doing it on Hyperliquid first. And I think that's massive. And I think that their flywheel is insane. When you think about it, they're a company that's doing $1 billion plus in revenue, and they're using it to buy back. Like growth companies on the stock market don't even do that, right? They're diluting their shares through giving equity or stocks to their employees, right? So what would a company in the stock market trade at with $1.5 billion in you could call it profit, actually, not even revenue. I think Palantir is at that level. Most of these growth companies are trading at like 40x, right? So they're at, $40 billion, which is technically Hyperliquid's FDV, but I don't think Hyperliquid is going to be distributing that non-circulating market cap in any significant form. So I don't know. I just think it's one of those like obvious no-brainer plays that when this thing goes north of 100 and starts going to 200, you're going to have so many people that are like, oh my God, I saw that at 25. I could have got a 10x, whatever.
Yeah, monthly revenue is just continuing to go up.
Yeah, I mean, their annualized burn, is over $1 billion. It's insane, right? And that's only with their current product. Their current product is going to continue to get more penetration. You saw like what happened with Phantom, et cetera, right? You could even start seeing some exchanges use these Hyperliquid as their backbone. And then I think it's undervalued just if you price it on what it's currently doing. But then I think it's even more undervalued when you think about where the world's heading, where you're going to be able to have synthetic markets on anything that you would want to trade. Like you want to go long on Wilmington, North Carolina real estate, and then there's a perps product for that, right? So when we talk about like the everything being tokenized market, I think Hyperliquid is very well positioned for that. I think Hyperliquid is competing with Robinhood. That's like their big competitor. That in terms of another company that's really like pushing in that direction fast. So yeah, I think these guys are still massively undervalued.
My only concern is that they get like hamstrung by like legal. Like these bigger companies find ways to say like, hey, you're eating too much of this pie. We want this pie. These guys.
I think it could even. I could argue that it would actually work in the opposite potentially, in that U.S. markets open up on Hyperliquid depending on how regulations trend. For example, if you look at Polymarket, right? Polymarket was like basically ostracized by the U.S. government in the U.S. a couple of years ago, and it looked like Kalshi was going to have a real competitive advantage over them being able to operate in the United States. And they just bought a U.S. Commodities exchange to be able to backdoor back into the United States. So there's even a market you can bet on right now. Will Polymarket be back in the United States by the end of the year? I'm long on that market. I think it will happen. So I think we're seeing a real shift here. And I think honestly, it'd be a mistake for the U.S. to continue to have like an archaic policy on these things. And try to, keep the U.S. out of markets like this. But I will say, though, that, like, for example, if you look at the U.S. regulation for perps products, it's absolutely garbage because it's not managed by the SEC, which is the ones that are actually being innovative right now. It's managed by the CFTC, which is still like a dinosaur regulator. But the benefit of that is that's why Coinbase and Robinhood will never be able to compete with Hyperliquid on perps, because if they have to follow the framework that CFTC launched, it's just a non-starter.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really.
And what regulation? What can they do? What can they say? Hyperliquid, you can't let U.S. traders trade on Hyperliquid. Okay, we're already doing that.
Yeah,
we're gonna sue you. Okay, we're not a U.S. company. Good luck. Like, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna shut off the hose somehow?
Well, maybe they do it on the like they legislate on the user end. Like if you're filing taxes and you have Hyperliquid gains, trading volume, etc., from the U.S., then there's an issue. Like that'd be my thought process of like how they can do it potentially. But
I mean, first of all, the U.S. has never done something like that, at least not in recent history. Like even with sports betting, when sports betting was illegal, it's illegal on the operator. It's not illegal for a user to do that, right?
Right.
Like if you're buying illegal weapons on Hyperliquid, sure, you can get in trouble for that, right? But
Can you do that yet?
Not yet, unfortunately. But in the U.S., like if you used an offshore sports book, as long as you pay your taxes on that, you're fine. It's not illegal to bet on sports.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. You're making me feel a little bit more confident in Hyperliquid, which is good. I want to circle back to Zora. I want to get your picks. I want to get your picks, Kicks, on who you bought. Also, circling back to my call on Docker XBT earlier this week, where I brought it up and Clemente refused to say the ticker that he was bullish about. So I brought that up and I made him eventually say the ticker. So I'll take credit for this win. This one went from 300K when we talked about on the show all the way up to 2 million now.
Wow.
Yeah, this is like the tokenized fund for Zora creators. I'm not in it. I faded it the whole way. I didn't buy it. Hopefully, if anyone was watching on the show and they were bullish, they bought it. Kicks, who are you buying on Zora? Because I want to make some buys.
Yeah, so I mentioned on the show either on Wednesday or last Friday that I went through and I just bought like names of like people that I saw that I was like, oh, this could be a good buy. So I bought Fred Wilson, which I don't think is working out great. He's a little bit of an old fart, but the Balaji's trade has been awesome. I think I got in on him at 1 million, and yeah, I wouldn't buy that. Just okay, buy that. Cool. I bought Balaji's at like 1 something million. He's at 2 million. That's great. I think the number 2 one is quite interesting. ZXBT. It's like an autonomous on-chain artist that's posting on Zora. It sounds like you're just like, oh, like AI XBT, this is just being like replayed, but instead of it being like a Twitter bot, it's like a botto, right? And Zora is very content visual heavy, like an Instagram. So I haven't bought this yet. I'll probably buy it after the show, but it wouldn't be crazy if like Zora goes to 1 billion that you see like ZXBT go to 100 million. And personally, I would keep an eye out for more projects like ZXBT. Like I don't know if someone can figure out how to do like the official Zora PFP collection, right? And somehow figure out how to do that with the tokenomics of Zora. But like Zora native projects that launch on Zora, I think would be very obvious plays. Are you looking for ZXBT?
Yeah, why can't I find him?
Just go to search, hit the search button. No, down the left-hand side. Higher, yeah, and then go to top creators. So this is an easy way just to like, yeah, it's like an easy way just to sort by. Your screen's blank, which is fucking really weird. I don't know if you're on a VPN or something, but it's at ZXBT. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So I think that's probably a great buy. I think the played out stuff that you probably want to avoid is like the friend tech-esque model. And I think that there's already plenty of snipers deployed to min-max this, but I wouldn't just buy like any crypto Twitter content creator that launches on Zora, right? Because Zora is a completely different product. It's not like a text-based info dump product. It's like an Instagram kind of product, right? So on the flip side, you probably want to like look at artists, and not just like artists that launch there, but artists that are like, I'm going to make my Zora profile like my thing for my art, right? If you can find people like that, I think it could be significant. I do think if they onboard like popular Instagram content creators, right? Or like TikTok content creators, that's probably a better play than like CT profiles. Although I do think some CT profiles would work, but I think we're at like the very beginning where there's probably smart people working on doing things similar to ZXBT. That will be the plays, right? Like ZXBT could be the AI XBT of virtuals, right? So I wouldn't be shocked if this thing does like a 10x from here potentially if Zora 5x to 1 billion. And then like, you know, is there going to be things like just if you think about like virtuals and Believe, right? And all of the things that did good on those ecosystems, and then try to apply that framework, but understanding that like Zora is a different style platform, I think you could find some real opportunities, meaning like Vader, right? Like Vader did very well on virtuals. What would be like the Vader equivalent on Zora, right? I don't have the answer to that. You know what I'm saying? But like you can look at the playbooks of the past and see like which things pump the hardest and then try to be positioned for when the devs, the creators, the builders come to Zora and launch these types of products.
I agree. In addition to looking at new launches, and you're mainly on the creator side, are you interested in posts at all? So like ZXBT's like Genesis post, 690K. Does that have any interest to you?
Yeah, so I think posts very much depends on the type of profile. So for ZXBT, I think it makes a lot of sense, right? Because you're essentially owning their art. So it's like a Botto where you can own Botto, or you can also own the art pieces that Botto creates, right? So I think there's specific examples where that would make sense, like in this example. But I think in the aggregate, I'm going to avoid posts because I think creator coins is the simplest way to express a bet. So for most of the bets that I make, it'll be creator coins. And for specific things like this that you put out, I think this would be a cool example of this maybe being a good buy here. The Genesis ZXBT. So like, you know, if ZXBT goes to 100 million, maybe this goes to 8 million. So you get like a 12x instead of a 10x or 15x instead of a 10x. But in the aggregate, I think there's many types of Zora profiles where like owning the coins other than if you have a content coins other than if you have a strategy for like quick flips aren't going to be where the value accrual is. But shout out to Nick for putting this on my radar. And I think it was just a perfect example of something that it's just like different. And if your mind is not malleable, you'll be resistant to the idea. It checked off a lot of boxes for me. So long on the main token, buying some creator tokens, going to keep tabs on this. I like this trade all the way through September. I think it could really pump up into September. Unlock start in October. You could potentially see like the bullish unlock. These people aren't dumping catalyst and get like a nice run into November and December. Very similar setup to virtuals, where you'd probably be looking to exit in December, January. And I think it's also very well aligned. It's already listed on Coinbase, so you can easily get retail FOMO into it. It was invested in by Coinbase. It was invested in by Jesse. So you can really see this being pushed as like the flagship Q4 product for Base. So I think there's a lot of bullish catalysts there. Lots of different ways that you can make money on it. I'm not going to be a sniper. I'm not going to be a terminally online person trying to buy new launches. My strategy is long Zora and then make a few concentrated bets on underlying beta plays like ZXBT being a great example. And I think there'll be more that crop up through August going into September.
I think I agree here. If you are a terminally online person, you can check out this this dashboard. This could be alpha if you're looking to snipe early launches. Zorascan.xultra.fun. I also joined this Telegram. It's like basically it's a Telegram bot that gives you alerts on like certain launches if somebody with more than 5K followers launches. So like I'll get a feed every hour or two. I'll see another launch on Zora, and I can like potentially get in it pretty quickly. I haven't bought any from here. The dashboard also shows you like people with large followings who join Zora.
And Wolfie, you said, I wish I bought Zora days ago. Guess what I thought when I bought Zora days ago? I said, I wish I bought Zora at 30 million because I'd already almost be at 10x, right? One of the toughest things as a trader / investor is framing your buys off of and sells off of the current market cap. You'll always be in situations where you could have got a way better price a week ago, a month ago, etc. And instead, if you just say from this price, what do I think the upside is? So I think Zora can easily the chart. If you pull up the chart structure looks phenomenal. By the way, like easy would jizz on this chart. I think if you, I think you can easily say not easily, but I think you can pretty fairly say this is going to go to 500 million. So if you put money in now, you can still get a 2x off of that. And I think I sell too early. I think this chart structure has a setup to go to $1 billion. So you're still looking at almost a 4x from here. And then even if you think that a 4x is not enough on Zora, I think the underlying beta plays on the actual platform, you'll find plenty of 10x pluses from there.
Yeah, I don't disagree. We talked about this last week. Had a nice entry. Could wait for an entry, or you could miss it. But I like buying in the strength here. I might grab some Zora today.
Yeah, this is why I like DCAing. Like personally, when I looked at this chart last week, I was like, I could easily see it consolidating at 200 million for 3 weeks, right? And so I started buying. I only got 70% of my fill in before it took this big rip up. I mean, I could see it ping to 300 million, and then you could try to play a game and say it's going to go to 250. I'm going to get a best fill, right? But if you think it's going to go to 500, maybe a billion, probably the best time to get in is now.
Yeah, love to see it. Love to see them getting attention because they've been around for a while and they've reinvented themselves a number of times. Zora, they've been around since last.
Exact same setup to virtuals. Time is a flat circle, right? Just like don't overthink these things. Virtuals, you owned the virtuals before the pivot or whatever they did from like a gaming metaverse company to ended up being virtuals, right?
I got Airdrop virtuals token that was worth
Yeah.
almost 6 figures that I sold like immediately for like 2K or something.
I mean,
I was like, I get out of this dumb thing. They're pivoting to AI, idiots.
And I mean, right now, ETH is about to break 4K. I think Hyperliquid is also just a phenomenal looking chart. If you just look at that chart, I think like 60 in the next month is very easily going to happen.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
So I think it's going to be exciting Q4. I think the biggest thing is just identifying now what you want your strategy to be in going to Q4. If you want to be like a quick trader and just get in hot things and ride them up, do that. If you want to find, I think the quickest way in this space to get rich is to make concentrated high conviction bets, even though that's not how I made my money back in 2020.
I don't agree. I think it's over clicking, over trading, and speculating on some of the worst narratives in the market.
That's how I did it in 2021. So easy. I'm with you. But I'm an exception to the rule. But like when I look at last year, right, where were the millionaires printed? The millionaires were printed in the people that like made a high conviction bet in Fartcoin or a high conviction bet in the virtuals ecosystem.
Forgot that they owned them.
We did it.
4K.
Let's go. And we're hitting those 4K sellers, just bouncing off. There it is again.
Oh, look at that. Just clean little breakthrough. You got to pump it up.
Let's go.
There he is. I knew he'd be there. I knew that. I just summoned him.
I need to get my damn camera working. Hold on, I'll be right back. But look at this breakout. Look
we got to pump it up. Got to pump it up.
Don't you know, pump it up.
Come on.
To pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up.
Where's my video? God damn it.
Don't you know, pump it up.
I gotta like restart my computer to do this.
Don't you know, pump it up.
I'm gonna do this on my phone.
Pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up.
Is that how much is that plate? Hold on. We got the breakout. We're about 4K on ETH.
Let's go. 4K ETH feels good.
That's better than that little thing right there was better than doing like a quarter-mile jog to get the blood flowing.
Dude, I feel great now.
I feel good.
My heart's pumping.
Oh,
look at this guy with the 9-inch bill cap.
What's that?
Your hat bill cap's long.
The 9DCC.
This is the 9DCC hat. I mean, does it get more exciting than this, guys?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it gets more exciting, if I'm being completely honest. Am I levered to the moon right now? Yeah, that's what you want to be in a bull run.
Yeah, man.
I just-
I think the only thing better than this would be like shooting a 79 in golf.
Uh-huh.
That feels about right.
Isn't 79 like pretty low?
That's 7 over par.
Yeah. I feel like shooting a 69 is like my normal.
Also,
Oh,
maybe
3
if,
under?
maybe if you believe in Muhammad and you go to heaven and there's actually 70 virgins waiting for you, that also may be better.
Okay.
Oh, we rejected 4K. It's all over.
I still believe
Short it.
Fuck. Let me go see what the situation is, what my position is looking like right here.
Nick, shout out on that Zora call, dude. You're making me rich over here, baby.
It's pumping.
Oh, yeah, baby. I got 70% of my DCA in at 60 cents and bought some Zora coins. Also going to load in some more Zora money into Zora and buy things on Zora and try to make more money on Zora. So thank you very much for bringing to my attention. I bought the dip. It's a 9.
Did I have more money exposed right now on this leverage? I only added 200 grand to my position, and I think that seems like a lot of leverage.
Yeah, I think leverage trading is generally the R word. If you don't know what you're doing.
Sorry, what's the R word again? I did watch the what's the R word? Oh. Got it.
Markets opened. Our Ethereum Treasury company down 40%. Fundamental Global, new one.
It's good. Yeah,
But-
people overcomplicate things. You know, just buy the ETH, buy the ticker. Buy the ticker or go to buy a Zora or the Hyperliquid.
Why didn't I fucking buy Zora? I was thinking about that the other day.
I mean, you literally like bull pitched it last week on the show. And I literally sat there and I was like, he's right. This thing's going to go to $1 billion circulating in Q4. The underlying tokens on Zora are going to pump to the fucking moon if you pick the right ones. This is an easy play.
We're back over 4,000.
Easy play. You just make this kind of
4K
play.
is now support.
Nick, here's the thing. I'd put 10K in a Zora right now because you're going to be pissed if this goes to $1 billion. At least if it goes to $1 billion, now you made 30 grand. You can go buy yourself another stupid ass Rolex or whatever you want to do with the money.
Okay, I'll do that right now. In terms
Also, you have
of-
good exposure to Hyperliquid. You happy with your Hyperliquid exposure? That's going north of 100 by the end of the year. Bare minimum.
Well, right now, most of it is on leverage. I total combined have 50 grand exposure, but I think I should probably have like spot higher.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good, man. That's gonna turn into 6 figs by the end of the year. So I think you can still be happy with that.
I mean, I'm still on the ETH 12K train, basically.
I like that. I like it.
And yeah, I think so what I'll do is I'll grab a little bit of Zora.
10K.
You think $10,000?
I think 10K. You buy, go billion. You happy?
I gotta move some of my spot to perps.
Move that spot over to the perps. Perp.
Oh, they have
Getting
Zora
them
perps
perp.
now.
What's that?
Yeah. That's how I bought Zora.
That ETH chart looks so good.
It's
The
making me
level-
happy.
The
1
level that
minute.
I'm looking at for ETH here is 4,061. Is another key resistance level. If we can break over that level, then I mean it's straight up to the moon.
Where are you pulling this 4061 from? Is it from like this run back in December?
Yeah, around that range, yeah. And around
If this chart drive into a group of gypsies, will there be any damage to car?
What is this accent that you're doing? What are you doing right now, dude?
I don't know. I was trying to do a Borat quote. Didn't work out.
Like, what's taking place, dude?
Just excited, man. Everything I'm buying is working. Feel good.
There's
Feel
our
We know
target.
that tends to last forever.
I think I'm just playing the game I was meant to play instead of trying to play other people's games. I'm not over there buying USDUC or other things on Pump Fund where I'm gonna fucking just drive my mental to zero.
Are
I'm
you
just
using
buying.
leverage on your Zora
50
buy or no?
so I filled 70%. So 70% spot, 30% is 3x leverage.
3x leverage.
Yeah. I generally prefer spot because also if you're trying to hold something for an extended period of time on perps, you start to get gobbled up by funding rates.
Yeah. So if I do 1x on perps, am I still using any funding? Is there any fee?
Yeah. Yeah. You're still
You
using
are
the same
charged
amount.
fees.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how they keep the books accurate and reward the market makers who are generally short on these positions.
Well, what the hell?
Well, so like another
But
thing
you can
do
always
is
like take the
farm
profit
funding
when it
limit.
consolidate it. Yeah, rotate it into spot. Sorry, Ray, for cutting you off.
Yeah,
There's
you can
no
also
spot on Hyperliquid.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can just like run the position up a little bit, sell it, and then take other money from somewhere else and go bridge it over to base and buy the equivalent amount of Zora spot. Not great from a tax perspective, but whatever. I don't know. Just buy Zora spot. It's on base. It's not that hard to get to. You can also buy it on Coinbase. It's listed there, but you're banned from that, right?
Yeah. We got to.
Before we wrap today, we're gonna do the second spin for our Yeet users. You can sign up now. Bodoggos.com/Yeet. Sign up today. That's how you join. That's how you take part of these. We had a couple people. They ended up joining after our intro. So we have a couple more names on the wheel here. You got Wolfie, Half Basic, some other listeners here, up to 17 people eligible. Like I said before, every $5,000 you get an additional entry. Bo Puppo with the majority of entries as he's at $44,000 worth of volume. We're gonna give this baby a spin. This is for $1,000. Here we go. It looks like a Bo Puppo. Congratulations. That's a big time win. $1,000. If you want a chance to win $1,000 like Bo Puppo and B Dusty did today, sign up today, bodoggos.com/Yeet. We're going to continue these giveaways throughout the month, and we're going to be rewarding those people who do a little bit of volume under our name. And like this tournament that we had, it was great. Unfortunately, got matched up with Wizard of Soho, the number 1 seed, but we're going to continue to power through. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Big winner, Po Puppo. Thank you for all you do. Love to see it. Love to see it. Love Yeet. They've been actually the title sponsor for Easy's show. If you haven't checked out Easy's show, check that out. 8 a.m. every day over on Kick. How's Kick been, Easy?
Good. Kick's fun. I like Kick.
Kicking him in the ass, dog.
I like your new setup there with like the Sports Center-esque type deal.
Trying to get more of a vibe. I need to get some sound effects. We got to continue to improve it, but we'll get there.
You got to get it done. I
No.
want to see you smile. Can you smile for me? I love it.
I think it's the first time I've seen Easy smile.
He looks great today. Wednesday, he looked a little tired. Today, he looks good. Eyes a little bit bloodshot, but hair's looking strong. Body looks great. Wifey's probably happy.
I'm a little tired.
Oh, man, that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you all for listening. We had a ton of fun. ETH living over 4K right now. Zora up big, making all the calls here. Thanks again for listening. We do this show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can catch us on Spotify, catch us on Apple, watch us back on YouTube, see what we're talking about in real time. Thanks again for listening.